So, hello again, guys. I think I need to I need to find out some different, a unique and then positive, energetic way to welcome you all. So, I promise that from tomorrow, I'll be welcoming you in a different way. So, let's for today. Uh, Let me tell you guys that I have been learning or I have been studying, reading the concept of uh, transport and communication, international trade, how things happened in these sectors, and about the same we are going to have a discussion about. So first of all, let's begin with the broader perspective, that is international communication and transport. So on the basic level, I'm going to tell you some basic knowledge, some basic fact, and share will be sharing with you the basic definitions of the concept. So first of all, see transport. What is transport? It is a service which kind of provide the movement of goods and passenger from one place to another. Okay, and transport are divided into majorly three types: land transport, water transport, air transport. Right? Let's talk about land transport. See, land transport are the transport which obviously runs on land. So there are two component of it are that constitute land transport: the railways and the roadways. So let's talk about the roadways. See, roadways are better than railways in two aspects, I think, because roadways provide door to door transport facility. It is cheaper. It is convenient for short distance. Okay, and of course, the road transport are not kind of long or all season transport, because when rain occurs in rainy season or in monsoon season, these the road transport goes go out of use, because the non-metalled road, which constitute major part or major portion of the road transport, will they just got Detroit, and they no longer remain for use. The same happened with the metalled road. Sometimes the condition become uh, worse, so that we cannot travel smoothly. Okay, so yeah, there are some categories in road transport also. There are types of road: highways, state highways, or national highways, international highways, I think, rural roads, border roads, and other. And about railways, see, railways are very much convenient or very much favorable for long distance. The freight and passenger both are transported from railways, and of course, the railways take long distance, but they do not provide door to door facilities. But railways, for it was invented, or the evolution of railways was for the freight basically, and for long distance. Okay, and one more thing that comes in the land transport category, there are pipelines. Pipelines are very new uh, to the transport ways of transport. And the specialty or the uniqueness of the pipeline transport is that the passenger, they just carry the freight, they just transport the freight, not the passenger, and that too in slurry or in liquid form or gaseous form. Solid materials can also be converted into liquid form and then can be transported. Okay, so we have talked about the land transport. Let's talk about water transport. See, there are water transport. There are two types of water transport: inland waterways and outland waterways. Inland waterways, what that means? Inland waterways are those waterways which connect one region to another within the country or within the continent. See, inland waterways are generally on rivers, and it depends on the flow of the river, the kind of flow of the river I told you, and the deepness, depth of the river, and of course the navigability of the river. I mean, to what area the boats can be operated or boats can be functioned. Okay, outland waterways are of course the sea routes which connect one country to another, one continent to another. They are transported. Uh, these facilitate transport from one country with another. Okay, water transport we have talked about. I'm not going deep into it because the concept is, if we go deep, so there is no end. We have to go deeper and deeper. And air, of course, air transport. It is the fastest, more convenient for perishable good, lightweight goods, and of course passengers also. See, with the help of airways, we can say that no place in the world is 35 hours away from any place, because the railway, I mean, the airways are faster than railways and other kind of roadways. Okay, so these are the three basic ways of transport. I have just told you the basic concept, and okay, let's talk about something regarding communication. See, communication is what? The sharing of ideas, sharing of views, perspective, messages are is called communication. And communication is the kind of become the part and parcel. Without communication we cannot even sell our product. Without communication uh, we cannot have any kind of relation with other person. Communication is important today. I mean, in the ancient period, all the transport were the means of communication, because the messages were sent, the letters were sent on uh, the animal or the humans. Okay, and yes, of course, now the scenario has changed, because the transport, the means of transport have got separated from the means of communication. We can communicate sitting in a particular place, and we can communicate with the person who is sitting in the another corner of the world with the help of internet. There are cyber space satellites, satellite communication, mass media communication, types of communication. Okay, I'm not even just going to a second level, and there are hundreds of level. So this has all about the transport and communication and international trade. Okay, international, why we do international trade? Because see, no country has all the resources, or one country trade with another country to get the things at cheaper rates, because if that country would be creating or would be producing the things within the country, it may happen that the cost of producing would be larger instead of kind of from the cost of importing goods. Hmm. So this happen. International days is very important for making political and economic relation with other countries also, in the perspective of influencing the world. Trade is very important. Okay. Now what uh, is remaining? So I'm just going to tell you some kind of names that are associated with the concept of this. See, if we talk about roadways, highways, national or international highways, there are example, transcontinental highways. Okay, uh, there are trans Canadian highway, trans continental Australian highways. Hmm. There are trans Alaskan highways, and if we talk about railways, so there are example of railways too, trans Canadian railways, trans continental Australian railways, right? And of course trans Siberian railway, that was my favorite, personal favorite. And yeah, if we talk about waterways, there are sea route, North Atlantic sea route. Okay, the Pacific and the Pacific, the Union and Pacific sea route. There are so many sea routes. And if we talk about the example of inland waterways, so we have Rhine waterways, we have Volga waterways in Russia, Rhine in Germany, Netherlands, and there are some shipping canals, Suez Canal, Panama Canal. See, Panama Canal connect Pacific Ocean with Atlantic Ocean. It is about 75 kilometer long. It has six locks system, and it reduces, of course, this reduces the distance of transporting or traveling. Okay, Suez Canal, we have, it has opened in 1869. It connects Mediterranean Sea with Red Sea. It has no lock system. Uh, of course, the toll tax are very high, that most people prefer, if they if they don't consider time, so they prefer to go from the Cape of Good Hope, like from South Africa. So far we have been talking about transport and communication. In Indian perspective, transport and communication, the same happens. Border roads in India are constructed for making a connection between the remotest area and the border areas, to provide the communication of remote people to the major cities, and the military, to facilitate military goods transport, transportation of military goods. There are inland waterways in India too. India has ports, different ports. Western coast has more ports than eastern coast. International trade, of course, India do international trade. India has a long history of import composition. First of all, we imported different goods, but in the current scenario, we import different goods. And of course, our imports, we have learned about the balance of trade, balance of accounts. When a country is importing more than its export, it has more negative balance of trade, BOP. and the same concept I have learned in economics also. तो यही है एक्चुअली। क्या है ना कि मेरे को इतना अच्छे से मैंने कंसेप्ट को पढ़ा है, लेकिन हर चीज़ को मेमोराइज करना एंड कंसेप्ट को समझना आर टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स। सो कह सकते हैं कि मैंने कंसेप्ट को समझा है, फैक्ट्स को मैंने बस जस्ट पढ़ा है, एंड एग्ज़ाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मैंने उन्हें मेमोराइज नहीं किया है। दैट इज़ वाई आई वॉज नॉट एबल टू टेल यू इन डिटेल। बेसिक कंसेप्ट की बात हुई है तो बेसिक ही बताया है, बाकी जनरली जो क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं एग्ज़ाम्स में वो डीप होते हैं ऑफ कोर्स, तो उसके लिए तो अलग से तैयारी होती है। बट दिस वाज माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग कंसेप्ट, अंडरस्टैंडिंग फेज, तो इसलिए मैंने जो है चीज़ों को बस पढ़ा है। और फैक्ट की बात है तो फैक्ट भी मैं जो है फ़िल्टर करके याद करूँगा। हर चीज़ को याद करना दैट इज़ नॉट अ गुड स्ट्रैटेजी और अ स्मार्ट स्ट्रैटेजी, बट क्या याद करने लायक है उसको भी चैनलाइज करके एक अच्छा सा प्लान बना के, स्ट्रैटेजी बना के किया जाए तो दैट कैन बी बेनिफिशियल, लेस टाइम कंज्यूमिंग एंड ऑफ कोर्स मोर प्रोडक्टिव। हर चीज़ तो यार ये तो अंडरस्टूड है ना कि हर चीज़ को तो रटने के लिए CBSE या NCERT नहीं कहेगी, बिकॉज दैट इज़ जस्ट अ वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम। कंसेप्ट को समझो, और हाँ मेन चीज़ें तो यार याद रखनी चाहिए, बट रटना अलग थिंग है। तो आज इसी बारे में हमने बात करी है। कल शायद मैं एक डिफरेंट जो है वेलकम के साथ आपका स्वागत करूँगा, एंड ऑफ कोर्स सो इट्स द टाइम फॉर सेलिब्रेशन बिकॉज आई हैव completed द बुक, एंड we have not come here to stop, we have come here to move further. So that's what I'm going to do. Peace, bye for today, but of course I'll remember that I have to welcome you in a different way. So goodbye.